Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which let's just be honest, is very excited to give you this episode because I'll tell you, one Wahama Lino called me and was so excited to tell me that this was like, I know I said it wrong.
Okay.
And she was so excited to tell me that that I would love this episode. And I liked parts of it, but then now I'm like, well, I can't wait for the next episode because it set up what happens in the next episode.
I thought that this episode really
Wahama
delivered.
Lino. Okay, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Yeah, Lino was wild. But yeah, this episode really to me paid off. Like it was great. Like I
I said
really
both things
loved.
wrong.
It's fine. It really paid off with Earl and Taylor. This back and forth they had at the very beginning, and then like the Lindsay and Blaine fight was just like, you told Harpo to beat me. It was great, and then like Melissa and Louis was just like frustratingly good, and then like Sean and Sarah was just hilarious. Justine and Michael was stupid, but I mean, it brought enough drama, and it wasn't a bunch of couples. It was just the right amount, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe I missed somebody, but who cares about them? All right, so let's start. I mean, I even wrote it down verbatim, so there, if Chris wants to, there might be a little little acting, a little reenactment. You remember
Who do you
those?
want
Remember
to
when?
be? Yes.
I would like to be Earl.
Oh, great, because I absolutely want to be Taylor.
Okay. I figured like growing up, I was really, and I'm not saying this is about you, but this takes me back to, I remember that we went to one of my mom's coworkers' house, a coworker/friend's house, and we were playing with her Barbies, and she had a plethora of Barbies. I wasn't allowed to have Barbies that didn't look like me, so that I could have
Mhm.
I could admire things that look like me, which was like a really good thing at the time. And she just kept making me be the boy. And I was very annoyed by it. I was like, I wanted to be the girl. And every time I had a girlfriend and we were trying to play with dolls, they always made me be the boy. And I just thought it was because they thought I was ugly and that I wasn't somebody that was ever going to be the ingenue or be girly. And now in my life, I really love being the guy. And so I give Taylor to you.
Okay. I mean, it goes back and forth of who I want to be all the time. And right now, I don't mind being half up, half down, big-eyed Taylor.
Okay, great. All right, so we're starting off with Chance and Taylor, and where we left off last episode is Chance left, and he was like, "All right, then, peace out." Blow this fucking popsicle stand. I can see where I'm not wanted. I'll take even though I lived here for a year and a half, like, fuck it, then I'm out. Tanya, my real friend, got me a fucking motel down the street, so I'm gonna go stay there. Bye. And then we have a scene where he's like, I'm willing to fight for this relationship. It's not over. And so he comes back and he knocks on the door and he's like, "Hey Taylor, can I talk to you? Like, can you just come out here? Can I talk to you like real quick?" Yeah, I don't want to leave things like this, Taylor. I never meant to hurt you. I loved you from the beginning until now. I just really want you to know that.
I always felt like I loved you more than you loved me.
Yeah, I think that's true. You loved me more, yeah, than I loved you for sure.
You're just
Yeah,
gonna say
that's for
it? You're
sure.
just gonna say it?
Yeah, no,
You're not gonna be.
yeah, I mean, I don't want us to split up, but I mean, like, I didn't mean to come over here. I didn't mean to like yell at your friends. I didn't mean to like fuck Bobby. Like, I didn't mean to do any of that stuff. Like, I didn't mean to
Well, oh,
like
I'm
do
sorry.
any.
What'd you say? Excuse me. Come again?
I mean, that's not
Wait,
what
I'm
I
sorry.
meant
My
to
sister, my
say.
druggy sister. You
That's
fucked my
not
druggy
what I
sister.
meant to say. I did not mean
But
to
yes, here
say
we
that.
are with you having said it and done it and fucked everyone in town, everyone that I know because it's a small
I
town and you fucked them all.
I
My
always
gay best
wanted
friend.
to be happy. I wasn't given a fair opportunity. The truth is I was not given a fair opportunity to do that because like things just always kept popping up, Taylor. Things just
Things
kept
pop up
happening.
in life, Earl. That's what life is. It's a series of things that pop up. I kept getting pregnant in my life. I literally kept popping up with things.
I mean, but okay, like I get that pushed you away, but that's not what a normal person would handle those things and move forward and just manage them. But I'm not a normal person. I don't know how to handle shit, and that's why I always went to prison. But I don't know that I'll ever be right.
Well, for some reason, I forget that you were in prison that whole time, and I expect you to be a completely functioning human being, even though you've showed me no signs in society thus far that you've ever accomplished that. But here I am being like, well, you should have thought about being a better person by doing better things when you didn't do all the good things you should have been doing by being an asshole. You just continue to be an asshole.
Well, you know what, Taylor? You can't save me. Nobody can. I've always done everything by myself, and I guess I'll continue to do everything by myself.
I am Captainess Save-A-Ho. I've
Mm.
always thought that about myself, until
And
my
I'm a big
that guy
ass
died.
hoe. Big
Ugh.
ass hoe. But you can't save me. Can't save me.
That's it sounds like a great rap. Sounds like a
Yeah.
great song. Like, yeah. Honestly, like she's just like on, it turns back around. Like there's some moments that are sincere. Like they go into like what she did for him and he acquiesces and is like, yeah, you were there for me and you really held me down a way by keeping me sobriety. In fact, you were like arguably the best woman in my entire life who's ever touched me and will ever touch me, and I actually don't deserve you. And
Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah. She doesn't know what to say to that because now it's too late. It's too late. She's already to the point where she wanted to hear this a while ago. But the truth is he is copping to the fact that he's not the right person for her, or he's not the right person in this scenario. And there's nothing to be done, but she's not acknowledging her foolhardiness in this.
she's like, I
She
warned you so many times. Like, I'm like, what would you do? You were just like, I'm gonna leave you if you don't stop cheating on me. This is the third time. I'm gonna leave you if you don't stop cheating on me. I'm warning you. I'm warning you that you keep cheating on me, and I feel bad about it. And at some point, I'll leave. It's like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was?
She just didn't know how to help this person who has addictive behavior, who has some kind of childhood trauma, who doesn't know how to function like a full adult. Like the way he was
Yeah.
behaving with like, no, Taylor, we got to get credit cards so that we can get credit. Like the way he
Yeah.
was behaving in the beginning, she knew not to financially bond herself to him by marrying him. And she kept waiting for him to get better and not just being like, I can't save him. I can't save him. I can't do this work for him. I can't, whatever. So they have this really good conversation and he walks away from it not going, "Oh my gosh, like this is over. I fucked up." He walks away, "Yes. Oh my god, this he does actually, let me take that back. He does walk away from it going, "Oh my god, this is over. I fucked up." He goes, "But I'm going to get her back." And that's the part that is not the normal part. That's the crazy part. And so we have another scene where she's like, "Come on, kids, we're going to do crafts." And so the producers are really shady and they want to, at every moment, let us know how ridiculous the front of her home looks. She's talking about doing crafts, and all I'm like is, no, just go outside and clean the front of your home. Like, get somebody to come and help you remove all of this. I don't know what she has. It's just like shit, like just like random shit from inside of her home or from other people. It's like a beginning of a hoarder's hoard in
Mm.
the front, on the side. So they take out the arts and crafts and they start to paint and do, I don't know, things that are going to go on the inside of the house on the wall. Word art.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know, I know. Only can you only imagine. She keeps making things and wanting to keep them, like weird tables and like stop making things. You're not good at any of it, Like she just doesn't, it's hard for her to get a job. But yeah, basically this part gets the dark. You know what I'm saying? For me, and triggering. And I think it's triggering for all the reasons, which are there is 1 billion kids. There's like she has like 10 girls. You know what I'm saying? It's like the goddamn Von Trapp children. There's so many, they all look alike, like they have varying
agree.
personalities, point of views. One's happy, one's sad, one's cute, is one is
Here.
like
It's Athena,
6.
Jakelin, and Sophia. Mason is somewhere amongst the trash. Like he's somewhere in a
We don't know where
bathtub,
Mason is.
like somewhere. We don't know
Bobo.
where he's at.
Bobo
Mhm.
has him.
Yeah,
Like that
he's
was,
being
that's
held
what how they
hostage
paid him.
somewhere.
They paid him in
Yeah.
Mason. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
This is all horrible. God bless him. Just allegedly. I'm just being a horrible joke. But but basically, the girls are like there and doing whatever shitty crafts, and she's like, so Chance and Mommy are not gonna be living together anymore. And they're like, why? And she's like, well, Chance made Mommy sad.
Chance.
And
Yeah.
the kids, and then
Too
that
many
little one who's like,
times.
yeah, the little one that's 6 but kind of talks like she's like 3 is like, what? God bless a little bit. I won't make fun of kids. We'll take this out, Christina. Anyway, so basically, she does. Okay. Anyway, so I can make fun of kids. So basically, she's like, I really am mad at. Really am mad. Okay, so basically, Taylor, I'm mad at because she's like, yeah, Chance and Mommy are no longer together. Chance made Mommy cry and too many times. And the little one's like, because he cheated. And Taylor looks right at camera and is like, oh, oops. How did that little one know that? I wouldn't have guessed with all the cameras just watching us as we fight for season actors. How so crazy. And the little one's like, I mean, at Uno, and we're like, oh, not okay. And then she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, just he cheats at a lot of things, I guess. At cheater things. That's what you call them, cheaters. And then the other one is just the red hair is like never liked him. Never liked him. Hated him. Hey, I hate that man. And she's like, what? I don't even what your point of view doesn't matter. And then they're like, it's just that, we kind of like hurt him, like and you fight like every night, like all the time, like, like literally all the time. And then she's like, well, I guess we have to talk about it now, moot point, because Mommy's not with him anymore. And then they're all like, well, can we get back these dumbass rings?
Yeah. And
I mean, Mom, did that not happen? A little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
verbatim?
yeah. Like it's like she's like, well, yeah, you're gonna have to give them back. And they're like, one of them is like, no, but the other two are like, sure, don't worry, got them on deck. And then they're talking, and one of them is like, what's that sound? And it's like the dirtiest sounding subwoofer that's like busted, plus like the radiator scraping on the ground. It's like the most disgusting hood sound car coming down the street. And then it is Chance in a like 1999 pearl white Escalade. He pulls up, okay? And the reason why I say 1999 or like 2001, okay? Because
It's 2001. Mhm.
it has a TV inside, which is so antiquated because every kid in the year of our Lord 2023 when this was filmed has a tablet. TVs and cars are no longer.
You're right.
No longer. They are
You're
no
absolute
longer. Okay.
because you can't because all the kids don't wanna watch the same thing. And
Yeah.
you don't wanna hear the sound.
Yes. No longer. Okay. Now, maybe somewhere
J-Lo
people do.
J-Lo
Some
literally could have come out that white Escalade. Like, that's how, like, yesteryear was with the glasses. You know exactly what I'm talking about, that it's like a J-Lo
oh,
kind of white Escalade kinda car, you know?
okay. And so then he's like, this is to show to Taylor that I'm serious about these kids because I bought that other truck and I wasn't giving a fuck about her kids. I didn't buy that truck for them kids. I bought that truck for me and my like day laboring. But like now I'm buying the kid this is for them. So he pulls up and he's like, sup. Again with this like bullshit vibrato. After we
Mhm.
just saw Bobo him up against a brick wall.
Mhm.
So Earl
Mhm.
jumps out of
Mhm.
this car and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "What up? I came to see the kids. Like, you're not gonna." And she's like, "Your child is not here." He's like, "These kids are me." And Athena literally runs up to him. She's like, "Here's your fucking ring
Yeah.
back." And he's like,
Yes.
"No, I don't want that. That's for you. That's my promise I made for you." And his confessional, he's like, "Fuck, I fucked up." Anyways, he's like gonna prove to these kids. And so she's like, "Okay, kids, I'm gonna talk to Earl. Go over there." So the kids go to the side, and he's like smoking a cigarette. And he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm here. Take care of these kids, Taylor. I want Taylor to know that no one's gonna love her and them kids the way that I do." And when he says that, like, I'm like, Taylor has been on a national television show. She will have a boo who's gonna want her and them 3 kids. Also, she has a home. She'll find another loser who's gonna want her.
Yes, and we just, already established in the earlier scene that she loves you more than you love her. So, no, I think that she can easily find someone that loves her more than you. I
Yeah.
mean, you already said that, like she's been, so anyway, yeah, he's crazy, but there's is where it gets really fucked up. Then it starts to kind of feel like he's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to go out and party. And it almost feels like without her, it's like she has to deal with the burden that if she's not going to allow him back in her life, and in a kid's life, that he might just like go do addict behavior, which is use, kind of,
Yeah.
which is horrible. Like he
Yes.
really feels like a narcissist, and the way
Yeah.
that like the grandizing, the spending, all of that stuff, like without really wanting to do any work. There's a lot of, I mean, I won't say I mean, in whatever kind of sociopathic kind of, there's just some sort of issue there that is not normal, and
Mhm.
when I say not normal, also nefarious in a way that you can't trust it and you can't have it in your life, because
Mhm.
he might feign loyalty to you, but at the same time, it's only loyalty to himself. And I hate to say this, what Taylor has provided for him is basically a place to stay, a bed, a warm pee, like if you food probably, like she's provided a playground sandbox for this dumbass to like make stupid castles that keep falling around, like falling. He can't make anything, it's just so
Mhm.
it's sad, and we want her to move on. And obviously, from where we know now, because of all the bullshit that's happened to him that we've talked about, she supposedly has. But even in this moment where he's been with some other dumb younger person, and maybe this gay guy, and but we've seen porn of him with some younger girl since then, and he got arrested like maybe twice. Like even after this moment till now, and it's 2024 January 28th, I'm still like, oh, they can get back together any minute. I think
Yeah.
so. Or do you agree
Yeah.
with me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just think that she somehow, because she is the last baby mama, feels some kind of onus towards him, like helping him out
Oh,
because yeah.
for
So,
sure.
it's
That's
an
why.
unfortunate
Yeah.
situation. Mhm.
Yeah. And that
Mm.
baby's gonna look like him.
What does that have to do with anything? Who cares?
So every time
Who cares?
I'm glad you brought it up. Okay, because you know why? Because because it's obvious, but I'm glad it's not obvious to you. Because it's like, if you have to look down and see this person's
No.
fucking face. Oh, no,
No,
I'll
no,
say it. No, and
no.
he's just in that, all the goddamn time. It's just sometimes it's like, and then that person wants to see the other person who has the same face as him. Sometimes they can just let it be easy. Like, am I supposed to let the persons with the faces live together?
I don't know. In my mind, like at some point they just start looking like their own little person. Like, yes, LaDonnie looks like his mother, but that's his face now. I don't think of them as being like little whatever. That's his face. So I see what you're saying, but
I
Mason is his
mean,
own person. But
not yet, though. That's still a baby. I mean, no, like Mason's not a voting adult yet. Jesus Christ, Mason can't even like cross a road. Can Mason walk? I mean, I'm not quite sure.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Maybe this was filmed 2 years
Um,
ago. Mason's
maybe.
like graduating high school.
um,
Okay, we'll move on.
let's move on to someone a little less explosive. Let's do Sean and Sarah. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Um,
God, what misfortune. Hate to see it. What?
what misfortune. Okay, so Sarah without makeup is a blob person. Like, who is that person? Everything on her. I see why she dyes her hair red. If she does not have,
Yes. The
if she does
palette.
not have,
She's
yeah, if
blank
she has,
palette.
yeah, if she has no color in her, she is like a strawberry blonde or like a very light blonde individual. Okay.
Yes.
It is from the top to the bottom. She requires what she puts on in order to have features. Okay. I was like, oh my God, she has no eyelashes. Um, which gives her a very interesting look. Not to say that I was like, she looks bad. She just looks like she could be part of Jeff Warren's or she definitely is giving Anglo-Saxon, you know what I mean? Like she looks like the people that Hitler wanted to keep around. That is what I imagine she's giving.
I don't know if she has that jawline. Germans have a jawline, real hard jawline.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is she's very, very, very blonde and light. Just like fair.
No, it's true. Yeah, she is, yes, absolutely. Yeah, she kind of, and plus because she's been a stripper, she knows how to put on a certain aesthetic, and it never quite leaves, and I enjoy it so like you're gonna have like over the top eyelashes if she has them on, when she does, like she has them on, she kind of looks like Raggedy Ann,
She's
like
been
she
a
looks like a
stripper.
little doll. Yeah.
I'm always admirable of people who could just go out there and make money that way. Good for them.
Oh yeah. She looks like, that childhood doll from like the 80s or 90s, and it was like a yarn doll or something. I don't know if it was like and then they made like a thing, like she kind of looks like one of those kind of like
Cabbage Patch?
red-haired. She looks like a doll cartoon from the 90s with red hair and big eyelashes, that kind of like Raggedy,
Babette?
right?
Oh.
Jesus.
Okay, yeah, Raggedy Ann, the movie, I know the movie, and she had Andy with her. Remember they go on that adventure, and then like they get to this, like Babette tells them to go.
Yeah, she looks like Raggedy Ann. She really does. Like that's exactly what she looks like. Look at this one. Look at it. Look at the eyelashes. That's her. Okay, that's her. So
anyways, she comes outside, and Sean is outside doing something, and she comes out hand on hip, and she's like, Sean, he's raised the rent again. I love Sarah. There is something about her like fierceness of just like, not only is Sean gonna never leave her, she's not gonna allow him to leave her. Okay. She's not gonna allow him. She's gonna have her foot on the back of Sean's neck for the rest of his life. That, and then two, she's like, we got a really good deal that fell into our lap because he's raising the rent. And my thought is, you're in Ohio, you have a townhouse. How much is the rent? How much did he raise it to? That's what I want to know. To the point where you're like, you can't pay it.
Yes. Now he says later on when he's talking to Kelly or something like that, I'll be saving a few thousand every month. And so I didn't know, like, is the townhome? Two.
So I'm like, wow, those Ohio prices are low.
This deal sounds crazy though. This rent to own deal for her uncle's land. It's 5 acres. They pay $600 a month. But what it's basically for the land because the house is unusable.
Yeah, so they're living in the trailer. So the house burned down, and then there's a barn as well. But then the way he explains it to Kelly is so fucking stupid that it makes me mad. Because instead of him saying they raised the rent and I haven't been able to pay you, so right now I'm paying $500 to live in a trailer on 8 acres. I will have extra money now to send you. He tells her he bought land.
I'm camping. Oh, land I bought.
Yeah. And instead of him just saying, I didn't buy the land. Sorry, Kelly, that's a miscommunication. I am renting to buy. So right now we only pay $600 a month. I'll be able to send you, not enough, but I'll be able to send you something once we get our bills paid down. I haven't told my wife that I haven't sent you anything. Like, he just gets frustrated with her because she thinks that he's put a down of $30,000 on some land, and that him and the family are just literally camping on this empty lot of land. Instead of her, it's just so fucking stupid. He's just a fucking idiot. And so now he's like, I have no idea how to handle any of this. And she's like, not Kelly, but Sarah's like, we've never done this before. We'll figure it out. And I know Abby's going to be staying with the mom. There's no way they're going to try to figure it out with Abby, do the best that they can, because Abby and the baby have their own little tent and or own
Trailer thing.
RV, trailer. And but I'm like, the baby can't sleep by herself in their own little trailer. Like, you can't hear her cry in the middle of the night.
I know.
So
we live in a world now where people are co-sleeping, honey. Like, that baby should be like up in that titty all night long, So
yeah.
like a full RV away. But I mean, having said that, I don't personally believe everyone should co-sleep. I'm just saying, LOL, that like, some people are like doing that, and she's like, "Oh, that's a baby RV, honey. That's the baby's RV over there." On the other
Is
side.
that gonna happen? No, it's not. But it's just really interesting, and I want to see if they actually do something, because they have a lot of land. It has junk on it, but 8 acres, that's kind of sweet, and I hope they do well with it. I hope they actually, don't just have a bunch of towed cars that end up just on their land that they can't actually do anything with. So
yeah, I want her to homestead. Wouldn't it be
Mhm.
cute? She should just like, if she, well, not like it. Well, here's the thing. She's on those acres, and I don't want her to work. So what if she just like did some Instagramming stuff and got good at showing us how she gets the chicken's eggs and how she's gonna bake the bread,
That's still work. That's still work.
Well, she's got to do something, honey.
Yeah,
fill
but
the
why can't she
time.
just tow trucks with him?
Okay.
I don't know. We all have our
She doesn't
different
want to.
ideas.
She never wanted to tow. By the way, she never wanted to tow trucks. She told us
Oh,
herself.
I
Remember, she
don't
was like,
ever
"I don't
want
want
to
to do
be
this."
on a, I ever don't want,
I
I
think she
never
wanted
want
to
to
be the
farm.
operator.
I never want to farm ever in my life. Speaking of farming, I mean, I really wish Love Off the Grid would come back.
I know it. Thank you for yes.
God, Joe and whatever her
Did
name,
it do
Maisha.
really well? I guess.
I don't know, but I want to know more about Joe and Maisha.
Yes, yeah. Well, remember that other one with like the guy that they were like in love, and they were like,
Yeah.
and she
Can't
like
remember
had
their
all the
name.
Botox. Yeah,
Yeah, I
no, I
can't remember
can't.
their names.
I loved it. Remember like the American, like the Native American woman from like, and she lived in Arizona. And she got that hot guy.
Yeah,
he was
that
like
young hot
dumb.
guy. He was dumb.
Mhm.
I remember the like young couple, and then the friend Lindsay or Laura or something like that you
Well,
actually ended up
oh my
talking
God!
to.
Of course, she came on. She came on my YouTube.
Eyebrows.
Yeah, don't say it.
What? She's still not
Yeah.
following you.
Mm.
And then
we talked about that in my YouTube. My YouTube. See, I say everything wrong. I have a problem.
You said it again, YouTube.
Well, then I was
that
like,
was such a good show.
I know it. Okay, so basically, they're.
I don't know.
I think kind feels that way, but in a match, it had a Matt Sharp quality. So if it wasn't Matt Sharp, they definitely were like, it's okay. The show is like a Matt Sharp show. They like pitched it as a Matt Sharp show.
They really did. So mother and so it wasn't her uncle, it was her stepfather. Her stepfather's brother. This thing fell into their lap. But then stepfather and
uncle?
mother, her stepfather. So
brother.
yes. Yeah, so uncle, I guess. Yeah, sorry.
Uncle, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. For those of you who have step people in your lives, I do apologize for demeaning that was her uncle. That's her uncle. Okay. Then stepfather and mother come over and they do s'mores, and mom really likes it. She's like, "This is great. You should come over here and do this all the time." I mean, maybe they're from southern Ohio, that's very close to Kentucky, because mama is given a very Kentucky vibe. No, to me she is.
It's so funny because
she's given south of the Mason-Dixie line to me.
Yes. What's Sarah's older child's name again?
Abby.
Do you remember? Abby is so cute. Abby is adorable.
Thank you for providing that information.
And what I'm saying is, she doesn't look like the rest of them.
Okay.
Great. So thanks for making me say it. I thought I was going to spell it out, and then you were like, "I don't follow it." I was like, "Yeah, because she's so cute, right? Like yay, Anyway, so basically, I can't believe I don't know if I'm gonna like fix it or whatever. The whole plan, he's gonna fix it. Like, I don't. They should just be like, "Hey, Chance, come fix our place. You're so good at fixing places." And
you mean Earl?
Professional. I do want to move on to Justine and Michael. Sorry, Justine and Michael, because I think they're dumb. Okay, she's
Mhm.
gonna oil her scalp. So Justina Michael, she's been carrying that baby, honey, and they could move to Vegas, and nor should they because he's not a up and coming rapper yet. But she gets some weird bad news, and the weird bad news is this looks interesting. What she's doing is Wahama is oiling her scalp, I guess. So Justina's obviously carried kids before, so she's not new to the whole mothering thing, but this baby
But
is
it's
different
been
because
10 years and her body is different and she's, older now, as Michael
yes.
would like to describe to us.
Basically, the baby is like big and she hasn't gained enough weight. She's too small. And so her stomach is like basically the baby. Like the baby has no room to move because like the baby's too big and she's too small, which
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that could happen, like
Mhm.
she, it yeah, she just can't she's not gaining enough weight, or it's her body itself won't make the stomach bigger and she's getting in other places. Like I've never had a kid, I don't know the answer, but she, went to nursing school, so she like knows some shit, and so this is annoying and scary to her. And now the baby can come at any time, and Michael's mom's around asking questions, being like, how are you feeling, or whatever, and she's like, yeah, good, or whatever, God bless, or bad, or whatever, I don't remember what she says, but it's all interesting. Michael's mom is like, uh, just given such a sinister task, like you were watching Peacock's The Traitors.
Wait,
She's given a traitor task. What?
hold on. One,
Yes.
do you have
Yes.
headphones in?
Yes.
Oh, I just can't see them. Okay, and two, you're skipping past her actually having the baby. So she is giving the sinister task. And then, but before she's given the sinister task, she's the world's best grandmother. She's rubbing on the belly.
Yeah, she
She's
is.
she's doing all the things. They call the kids down to tell the kids. I mean, they're scaring the shit out of Kylie. The mother's Justine is like, I got to put everything in Kylie's name because Kylie's going to be the parent. And I'm like, whoa, she completely skipped over Michael. She's like, oh, I don't expect Michael to do anything. If I die,
Yes.
everything's going to Kylie.
Well, Michael has 40 billion kids already.
No, but I thought that was really interesting and also kind of smart because she's not depending on Michael. She's like, yeah, I love you. I love you. I love you. That's good. That's good. That's good. But like, Kylie, take care of your brothers. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually kind of like that. I thought it was interesting that her mother is not there. I'm like, what is she at work? It's also interesting to me when people are at work. I'm like, do people not have the kind of jobs where they can take time off or like put in PTO? Is that my
Yeah,
privilege?
no. Yeah,
Because
no,
I'm
I
like,
don't there's a lot of them. There's a lot of ones you can't.
I'm like, where's the mother in this time of her life? She should have enough time to put some time in to be there when her daughter's like going through it. So, anyways,
She made that
but
weird brunch though that they were supposed to leave, then they didn't leave.
yeah, but here's the truth: Michael and Justine are married. So it's she's already, unless she has some kind of stipulation in, I don't know, had a prenup or has a trust already where Mike can't touch it. Giving direction to Kylie is already moot because she's already, Michael is her next of kin technically. So if she were to pass, Michael would be in charge of everything because she
Her
married him.
stuff, but if he's not adopted father of the kids, her kids, you have to adopt he has to adopt her kids to be legal guardians and stuff like that, right?
I
I
think
don't know.
so, but her finances go to him. They don't go to her kids when she marries. So like that's unfortunate. So all of that happens. Then when they take her to the hospital, she looks crazy. She looks tired. She looks like she's in pain. She looks whatever. And Mike is like, I mean, he is whipping that Mercedes, whipping it
Mm,
to the left, to the right. And he
whip it
pulls into
good.
that spot. And then the next scene we see, her hair is laid, her eyelashes are did, she's got on lip gloss.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we see a bunch of footage of their own footage of Mike in the hospital. And we hear him talk about how this is the first time he's done this in years. He got to see Nova, but he didn't get to see the youngest. boy be born, because by
Oh,
the
yeah.
time they were born like 6 days apart, but he got to
Yeah.
see Nova. But by the time the second son was born, or the last son was born, he was already
That's some, like,
taken to
Nick
prison.
Cannon shit, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
2
He was
babies at
already
the
in prison.
same within the same, like, week, pretty
Week.
much.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was already in prison by the second one. So the last time he got to do this to a child, I guess, was a couple of years earlier. So he's just like in it. They're dressing her up. They're taking pictures of her. This is all of their, must have been some kind of Instagram, TikTok, or some kind of, they must have a Patreon. They were doing all kinds of stuff probably to make money
Mhm.
with the birth of this baby. And that's probably why Justine looked camera ready,
So
all of
gorgeous.
that
Yeah.
such. Yeah. And she was completely out of it when they did the C-section. It looked like she was asleep. And then, yeah, then her mother came. Then they get back to the house. Now, go.
Well, the baby is named Manhattan Barbie. Manhattan Barbie has her own Instagram. Manhattan Barbie is cool, chic, cool girls shopping, New York vibe, but like iconic. She keeps unfortunately using the word iconic, which to call a baby iconic is a certain kind of hell for me to hear. Like, and it's just Justine is has in so many ways a minuscule frame of reference for so many things. Her world feels so small. Like, like I couldn't. Manhattan Barbie, all right? So Manhattan Barbie does have an Instagram, Docu Sweeties follows Manhattan Barbie. So at the end of the day, Manhattan Barbie wins. And all the way, by the way, already has more followers than us. So God bless Manhattan Barbie. You know what? We should have been one of Michael's kids.
I mean,
I don't know.
it
We would
wouldn't
have
have been
had
that
a
hard.
better chance of Instagram fame. But basically, yeah, well, then we get to the point where they're back at the house, and then we're given Michael's mom as a traitor, honey, of Alan Cumming fucking Peacock, and is given the task to tiptoe in, yes, honey, with the same pregnancy test that this lovely woman has been dangling in front of us the entire season. Look, Micah, I keep talking about it, but here it is, the pregnancy test, because I still have the pregnancy test. And Michael's like, look, Mom, I said no to the pregnancy test. Why don't you believe me? And Megan's like, okay, but then she sneaks in, honey, sneaks into the house, and she's like, I can't help who I am. What's she gonna do with it? Like, are you gonna swab the baby? You're gonna go up to that brand new baby with all that hair? You're gonna cut some of that baby hair? You're gonna put it in the baby hair box, send it the baby hair box away and see. I mean, no, you're gonna. Is it? How do you get? What is a pregnancy test? You got to pee on this posing with this Kleenex for
No, I
as
think
long
you
as it
just
is.
put it in, you just swab the mouth.
You
But
just swab
like
that
the
baby's
way
mouth.
that the camera, you swab the mouth, but the way that
Yes.
the camera, like it was several takes of the same thing. Okay. One, you have Justine just fucking just like sleeping it off. And she's just like, but then you have one of the mother walking down the hall, coming out of a room, and she's got the paternity test in her hand. And they were like, okay, whatever her name is, let's say her name is Delia. Back up, Delia. Okay, let's frame the camera.
Delia.
Stand there and hold it.
Catalog fame.
Okay, no, hold it like this. No, okay, try holding it like this. Okay, great. We can see the title. Hold it like this. Okay, down a little bit. Okay, stay there. You feel that? That's where you're gonna hold it. She's like, okay. And then they're like, okay, now walk down.
Feel that?
Walk down, and she's like, okay. And they're like, okay, walk towards me, walk towards us. Okay, now bring it down a little bit lower. Only the thumb and the forefinger and the middle finger hold it. Now I want you to slide your hand across and bring this hand down. Okay, perfect. Now I want you to turn towards the door like you're gonna walk into the door. And so she's like, okay. So she turns and they do it that way. And then one of the cameraman is going to be inside the door. So then she turns and it's just they mapped it. It was mapped. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, the theater people, all the movie people and theater people watching this were like, okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, producers. And so now we know that she's gonna somehow sneak to the baby, put a little something in the baby's cheek. Now, how she's gonna get Michael's, I don't know if she's gonna rub her hand through Michael's hair and pull out a piece of his hair, or maybe be like, Michael, open your mouth, mijo. I mean, she's not Mexican, they don't say mijo, but like, how is she gonna get Michael's DNA? I don't know.
No, just like be like, oh, like he's like left his water bottle. She's like, like so many options.
So
She's
she's
like,
like, I
Michael,
know it's
give mommy
wrong.
a kiss. Give mommy a kiss.
I
Like
know it's
afterwards, she's
wrong.
like, sorry.
I know it's wrong to do what I did, but I'm not going to change who I am. Meanwhile, the sun is like setting behind her and she's just in this woman's home. And we find out that she wants to move to Vegas with them, which I think is a great idea. I think that at least some of the family moving to Vegas with them, she and the oldest daughter want to move to Vegas, which I think that would be great. I mean, I know that the younger kids, like their mothers, are not going to let their 6-year-olds move to Vegas to be raised by Justine, especially if they don't know Justine. But I think that at least having the oldest daughter go would be great. And maybe not the mom with her conniving ways, but without the paternity test situation, I think having some family to move to Vegas to help Justine and Michael get settled and to have that extra adult support would be good.
I mean, we'll see. This needs to come around though. Like they can't you can't have such a fake storyline and just like for so many things. Like give me something fresh. Like Michael could have so many things. Like tell me more about like bitches that are trying to hit him up from his past. Like he obviously impregnated 2 women at the same time. Like you have drama you're not giving us. You're giving us dumb drama because you're not giving us the real drama, and I deserve real drama.
Okay.
Do you want to move on?
Yes. Lindsay
Okay.
and Blaine. Or do we want to end
Mm-hmm.
with them? Do we want to end with them? No.
Either one.
Lindsay and Blaine.
Yes, honey.
Another good fight.
Going from bad acting to good acting.
Mm-hmm.
Or not acting. We
or
don't
not
know.
acting. Yeah.
Because Blaine really, I mean, is where the Oscars, honey, just came out for the noms, and I can give one to Blaine because he felt very raw, very passionate. I mean, he felt like God bless you. He felt like he is very upset and also very stressed out, and definitely should take a big hit off a bong at the end of this episode. But we obviously are coming hot off the fact that Lindsay is barefoot in a white dress outside the bridal salon, slapping them toesies against cement, and then she comes back in. The kids go and she's like, I don't want them to see how mad I am or whatever, God bless, because she have just heard that Blaine just takes his grievances against her to every female in her family except for her. So basically then she comes home and waits for him to like say something, and then he rolls up and she's like, hey Blaine, just like in the middle of the doorway, feet out. And then he's like, oh, Lindsay, I bought myself a 4-wheeler. No, I'm not me. I bought Kagan a 4-wheeler. He always wanted a 4-wheeler. And then she's like, a 4-wheeler. And then she gets so fucking pissed. And she's just like, I'm trying to buy a wedding dress and you can't even buy me into this and you're buying a 4-wheeler. How much it is? And then he says my favorite thing for a Southern person. I know, I just love it so much. She's like, how much was it? And he says, well, it wasn't but $800. It wasn't but $800. Well, it wasn't but $800. How much was it? It wasn't but $800. And I like that is a musical thing. I cannot. So it was $800. It wasn't but so it's less than. Like, is this Price is Right $1? Like, I love it so much. It's like the colloquialism, I can't even get it. Like, it wasn't but $800. Okay, go ahead.
I guess for me, it's that 4-wheelers are so wildly unnecessary
For a
in
baby.
every form and fashion, unless you live on a Yellowstone type ranch.
Mm. Okay, well, I think in
And
my mind, they're in the boony back roads of blobbity blue bayou country, just bloobity blobbity around, like, on people's properties and like through the swamps. Is that what they're doing? I
and I
mean,
think
that's
they
ignorant
are.
sounding. Okay,
And I
maybe.
and
Yeah.
I maybe they are. But in their current financial situation, while they're trying to buy a get a wedding going, and she's doing that, it seems it seems weird to do that. And then he's like, you buy Miley Grace every single thing that she wants. So he's using that as a reason why to buy this four-wheeler for this 8-year-old who I guess maybe on a whim said that they wanted this thing. And I don't know what Blaine's financial situation is. Like, I don't know if Blaine works, but I feels like if Miley Grace is asking for something that costs $800, maybe it's like a tablet or something that's like at least you can be used for school, at least on the surface, we can pretend. It just felt like the purchase was just so ridiculous. Um, but who am I to? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
God just thumbed you up, by the way.
Great, because I'm right. But like she's like, where have you been? Now she is the quintessential naggy nag. The way she
Yes.
handles this is just wild.
Yes.
But she's right.
Yes. She's
She's
smarter
right.
than him.
She's smarter than him. The way she allows this thing to unfold, she doesn't even come straight for the jugular. She allows this thing to unfold. She allows him to yell first. And he's like, you buy Molly right where I want. And she's just like, oh yeah, that's how you feel? Why don't you tell me how you feel since you tell every other woman in my life how you feel about me, how I'm controlling, how I'm manipulating, how I'm this and that. And then
Why are you with me?
yeah, everything that she has done has been a reaction to something that he has done. And the final straw that she had to do was call her PO and tell her PO that he got a medical marijuana card. And
Yeah.
I loved that for her. And she was hurt to have to do it, but she did it because she found out he was talking shit about her to her family, to her peoples. So he gets to the house. They start to get to arguing. She then is like, this is what you did. And now this is what I did. And he's like, well, why'd you do that? And she's like, because you put everything at jeopardy. And now I had to tell them, so you can't live here anymore. You got to go. And now he has probably maybe to his dad's house, but this is where he's lived with her for like the last however long. And before that, because they've lived together for a while now. And now
She was,
he's
yeah.
yeah.
She lived with him when she got out of prison,
Yeah. And like he saved her from Deontay's big ass dick. So like yeah. So I mean, we're watching them break up in real time because of choices that he has made because he's going through it and didn't know how to deal with it. So instead of like, then she's like, you got to marry. He's like, I'm depressed. Like the way he said that, I know it's not acting. Though it was riveting. It
Raw.
was the greatest piece of television I think I've seen in a long time. When the way he said it with such hurt in his heart about why he got that medical marijuana card, and she's like, you've made several layers of mistakes and you have not spoken to me about any of them. You have spoken to everybody but me. So now you gotta go.
Yeah, this was a really hard scene, like, to watch. Like, they're not supposed to be together because at the end of the day, she cannot hang her hat on his decision making. She doesn't think that he is smart. And he's a little simple. And he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not dumb. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's dumb, but sure, but not he's not, I mean, I'm not saying he's just a little,
Yeah.
because his world's small too, like in a Justine way,
Yeah.
like in a Justine where their worlds are small, you can tell by like the way that they say things and view things. We're just like, and I think that not that Lindsay's so grand, but Lindsay just has, I mean, a very
A little
strong.
savvy.
She's savvy. She's quick. She's like, and she's a very strong-minded person. I think she has to be with someone that can kind of like stand up to her and take her, and also that she doesn't have to like do everything. I think that she makes every decision when it comes to Blaine. And I'm not saying, I think it also depends on it's also because she used to be his boss in a certain way in like the drug world. So I think once you're like in a power dynamic such as that, like how do you get out of it? Like I think because there's natural like habits and behaviors that you might fall into. But it's a huge ass fight, yeah. And then basically she lets him know that Miley does not want them to be together as a couple. And honestly, it really feels like it devastates him like in this moment. Like this is if we were watching this scene in an acting class, there are beats, there are changes, there are there are things that happen
Yes.
because then okay, so then the Miley beat happens, right? And it's like, oh, that's that. And then she even calls it out. She's like, that's the thing that gets you, because he like storms out and he has to leave because of the fact that Miley doesn't want them to be together. It's so devastating. And then he lets her have it. Lets her have it. Is like, she's like, what did I do that was so bad? What did I do that was so bad? He was like, you did something, it's unclear, with a married man. You left with, what'd you do with the married man? You fucked a married man? You left on a day with one? Like, that is TBD.
Yes.
And we're like, what'd you do with a married man? And then after he was like, well, my initial thought was, oh, that's how she got the money for whatever Miley wants. Because when he was like, you give Miley whatever she wants, I was like, well, how do you have the money for that? And then I was like, oh, married man.
Oh, I was
Because
thinking
I'll
just
tell you
because
this
she
right now, our
works.
girl's smart.
Yeah.
Our girl's smart. And if she wants fine things. She wants things for all her things. She needs things. And if he's not bringing it in, I can only assume that she's found other ways, other avenues. She's smart.
That's crazy.
Seeking
This is not,
arrangement.
yeah. I mean,
For your baby.
I'm on her side because she just
Me too.
slowly let it out. She was like, and then she's like, Blaine, do you see why she would not like you though? You did this because you went complaining to her about me. Now she doesn't like you. Your fault. I wrapped that up with a bow. Go ahead and get out.
She's very smart. Yeah. I mean, he's no match for her, and he
No, I
knows that.
mean, yeah,
That's the reason why he doesn't talk to her. He is no match for her. Anything, he can't talk to her because he
yeah,
can't. He's the,
yeah,
So anyway,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
anyway, it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And again, next episode we
Take
get to know
notes. Everyone take
more
notes.
about what that.
Don't just come out with the whatever arguments you have. Let them do it, and then you just argument number
Sit
1.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sit back, let it happen. Okay, last but certainly not least, Melissa and Louie.
honey.
Oh God, Melissa is a nightmare.
Is her accent even getting thicker as the season and years that she's I feel like it's so thick in this episode. I'm like, is this real, or is this like an Alex Borstein character or something like that? Like it's just
She
so
she apologizes to him, and in what feels like 14 hours later is yelling at him. Now, did he run into every pothole New York City had to offer? Yes. Did he try? No. He was
is
like,
it hard to drive in New York? I think
yes.
and I don't know if they have the softest and smoothest roads. I don't know, but she goes and gets she has to go get that nose done, and she's excited for it, and they have to give us this absolutely
God
asinine
awful.
pregnancy
Ugh.
scare, which
Oh.
we did not need. I mean, none of us.
The-
If there like was there someone waiting, like, oh my god, what if she's pregnant? What a turn. Oh, well, I didn't think about this, but this is exactly what's going to happen. They're pregnant. Then she won't have to get the nose job or whatever. But like, no, that's not what happens, of course. What ends up happening is that she's not pregnant, but they give us quite a Matt Sharp or sharped with a very dull knife.
Mm-hmm.
So then she goes for the nose thing, and then he picks her up, and we see a little bit bleeding down here. And then by the time she's back at the house, which is an hour and a half later, like the whole down part is just like bleeding.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice it. You're so
she's so upset. I don't like it.
So ridiculous.
It's bleeding so much.
She's mad at him because he can't do anything right, apparently. And they get to the house and he's like, "Is this for your back?" And she's like, "No, Louis, fucking idiot. It's for my head. What the fuck? I'm tired of you already." And so basically he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. That's why he asked.
Like, so she's like, "You're already getting on my nerves," and he calls his no. So then obviously it's a rocky start. Next scene is she goes to the doctor, so there's like a fake reveal, so we have a cliffhanger, we don't see it. Then there's another fake reveal. So we don't actually ever see her nose this episode, do we?
No.
Or do we? Yeah.
No.
Okay, so we don't nose and we don't seize her nose. But we're at the beach and he's like, "I want to make it up to her." For some reason, he's always making it up. Someone's always making it up to somebody.
Yeah, because he's been taking care of her for this whole week. They live together.
Yeah.
So she just has gone to the doctor to get the nose bandage taken off. And then again, they're at this like, so it's like, haven't you made up for it by taking care of her this whole time or whatever, and like being on her back and whatever? And he's like, "I just gonna do the cheap things. I'm just gonna get like a cheap bottle of wine, but it's a thought that counts."
Yeah, no. So he calls his mother and he's like, "Oh yeah, Melissa's gonna come and I'm gonna see her nose." And Donna's like, "She didn't even need it." It's like, Donna, that wasn't what was said.
Yeah.
So then he has to hurry and get off the phone because Melissa is coming and she's late, and I don't know. That's why he called his mom because he was bored. And then she's there with a giant scarf like a Peanuts character, and then she goes to take it off and it cuts off. So there's that.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
She's not pregnant. She got her nose job. She was mean to him. He doesn't do anything right, and then he sets out a blanket at the windy beach.
Except make pizza. He makes pizza right. Everyone says it.
Good.
Except for Melissa.
But she also says she's gonna leave him alone about it. She says she's gonna stop being mad at him because she realizes that it's harder for him than anyone else, and she's just on his back because she doesn't want to believe that it's harder for him or something.
Yeah, and then he has some really dumb thing where he's like, "I just realized Melissa's hard on me because she just wants this relationship to work so much. And so that's why she's hard on me, because she wants me to succeed so much that we work. And so I got to give it to Melissa,
No. No.
I don't know. They just like, anyway. So that's, is that the end of the episode? Oh, okay. Well, God bless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I cannot wait to the next episode. I mean, we're gonna see the nose, honey, and we're get to like find out what the married man means. Like, please, okay.
We need to find out about Earl. What Earl's been up to.
Oh my God. Earl's gonna sit down and like confess his sins, honey, to lay it all out. Everyone he's fucked. I can't wait. And all the lies. I'm like, who's gonna be there? It's you. Is it Bobby? Is it the other friend? Is it your girls? Like, like Bobo should be there. I mean, every Tanya should be there. We should really, if it's gonna be it, let's fucking do it right. Bring the guy that's calling. Let's fucking lay it all out, Honestly, Matt Sharp should. Matt Sharp should do a complete intervention.
What?
Who?
Intervention? I said tell all.
Oh, like a tell-all intervention roast of Chance, where there's like a, on the dais, it's like everyone I said, and like everyone, like even the young one of Taylor's, even Mason's like, everyone's just like looking at him, and they go to the line and like make him say all the horrible shit that he's done and like things. And then they're like, "Oh, someone else has to be like, Chance, you are never going to make easy money. So the only way that you will make money is by honest work, something that you can do that you either like and or good at or are good at and can tolerate. Unless you can find those two things, something that you're good at and like, or something that you are good at and can tolerate, and then hopefully your services will be bought, that is your only fucking way. Because you are already on TV and you're already known as a, flimity flam scammy scam. So like, truthfully, this is just like friend to friend. That's your ticket out of here. Now, work begets work, and I think that honest work makes something of you. I think a purpose really drives you, and I think it can be a really great, calling and or like purpose-filled life for someone who might feel lost in a certain sense of disease, like mental illness or drug addiction. This is the sweetness part of me, or whatever. And so, but having said that, I will watch only from the salty part of me that I want to see him lay his sins and lay down all of his armor, and then also be taught a lesson. And I want him to change. I want him to be like, I get that I can't be a piece of shit. I get that I can't scam, or like, I get that the only way for me to do it is to fucking do it. And I'm going to start doing it step by step every day. Will it happen
That's
though?
a good No, it won't, but that's a good
Okay.
lofty vision
And
for
lofty is
what you
true.
want for heaven.
And I want it for myself. I want it for myself as well. I want it for all of us.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good goal.
Wahamalino.
All right. Hey guys, so that's the end of this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are interested at all in supporting us financially, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. There is exclusive content, including a live every first Monday of the month. And yeah, so join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties, $10 a month. If you cannot do that, Chris can tell you other ways that you can support us.
Please go to Instagram and follow us at DocuSweeties. We are also at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X. We have a Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. And other than that, if you haven't yet, consider giving us 5 stars. Thank you so much for listening to us. And, we love you so much. Bye.
Bye.